Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the clutter and give you the insights you need, especially if you're navigating the immigration system.
Absolutely. Staying updated on the Visa Bulletin is, well, it's critical.
It really is. But wading through it all? That takes time you might not have.
Exactly. It can feel overwhelming.
So that's what we're here for. Think of this as your shortcut to understanding the key shifts.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's unpack this month's changes. Our focus today is simple. We're putting the August 2025 Immigrant Visa Bulletin right next to July's.
Comparing them directly.
Yeah, and we're going to pinpoint exactly what's changed the dates, the countries, the categories, and crucially, what it means for you.
Right. Because even small changes matter.
Totally. So we're breaking down what's different and why it's important.
And maybe before we jump into specifics, it's worth quickly mentioning those two key charts in the bulletin.
Good point. Go ahead.
You've got the final action dates. That's basically when a visa can actually be issued or, status adjusted.
The green light, essentially.
Pretty much. And then there are the dates for filing applications.
Okay.
This tells you when you're allowed to start submitting your documents to the National Visa Center.
So like getting your paperwork in order stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And understanding both is, well, it's key. They guide different steps in the process.
A bit like knowing when to pack versus when your flight actually leaves.
That's a great way to put it. Even tiny shifts in either date can really impact your timeline and planning.
Okay, perfect setup. Let's dive into the family-sponsored categories first. These affect so many people.
They really do. Lots of families waiting.
So comparing August to July, what did you see happening in the family categories? Any big surprises?
Well, the first thing to note is actually consistency. For a lot of the main categories, F1, F2A, F2B, F3, the final action dates didn't really budge. Across the board, for all chargeability areas and those specific countries like China, India, Mexico, the Philippines.
They say the same.
Largely, yes. Static between July and August. So for many, it's steady as she goes, which, offers some predictability, even if it's not the forward movement people hope for.
Okay, stability is one thing. But were there any changes, any movement at all?
Yes, definitely. There are a couple of really important differences to highlight.
Let's hear them.
Okay, the first key difference is in the F4 category, specifically for India.
That's the category for brothers and sisters of adult U.S. citizens, right?
Exactly. So in the July bulletin, the final action date for India was July 8th, 2006.
Okay, July 8th, 2006.
But when you look at the August bulletin, that date actually moved backwards. It retrogressed to November 1st, 2006.
Wait, backwards. To a later date, November 1st.
Yes, November 1st, 2006. It's a bit counterintuitive, but retrogression means the cutoff date moved to a later calendar date, meaning only people with even earlier priority dates are now eligible.
Wow. So if your priority date was, say, August 2006, you were eligible in July, but now you're not in August.
Precisely. It narrows the pool for India F4 applicants. Those with dates between July 8th and November 1st, 2006 now have to wait longer.
Oof. That's got to be tough news for those caught in that gap. What causes a retrogression like that?
It usually signals that demand is really high and they're hitting the limits for the available visa numbers for that specific category and country. They have to pull back to manage the flow.
Right. Makes sense.
Okay.
So that's one key difference, a negative one for F4 India. Is there any good news on the family side?
Yes, there was. And it's actually quite a positive shift for a large group.
Okay.
The second key difference is in the F2A category. That's spouses and minor children of permanent residents.
Oh, okay. A very common category.
Very. And the change here is in the dates for filing chart. Not final action, but dates for filing.
Got it. The paperwork stage.
Exactly. And this advancement applies across all chargeability areas. So general pool, China, India, Mexico, Philippines, everyone benefits.
What was the change?
In July, the F2A filing date was March 1st, 2025.
March 1st, 2025.
Now, for August, it's jumped forward 1 month to April 1st, 2025.
Oh, okay. Here's where it gets really interesting. So what does this 1 month jump to April 1st, 2025 actually mean for you if you're in that F2A category?
It's quite significant, actually. It means more F2A applicants, those with priority dates before April 1st, 2025, can now start assembling and submitting their required documents to the National Visa Center.
So it unlocks that next step for a whole new group of people.
Precisely. It signals faster processing eligibility, at least for the documentation stage. It means the NVC is ready for them.
Beyond just submitting documents, does it signal anything else? Like, is it a hint that final action dates might move soon too?
It can be seen as a positive indicator. When the filing dates move forward, it often means they're clearing the initial processing stages more quickly. It allows families to get documentarily qualified sooner.
Right.
And that, can offer a real sense of progress, letting people prepare medicals, gather civil documents. It brings things closer. Even if the final visa isn't available just yet, it suggests the pipeline is moving.
That makes sense. A bit of forward momentum can make a huge difference when you're waiting. Okay, let's switch gears now to the employment-based side. These categories can get pretty complicated.
They definitely have more nuances, different subcategories, country backlogs.
So comparing July and August, what were the standout changes in the employment-based world?
Well, similar to the family side, there's some stability first. EB1, the priority workers category, largely current or unchanged for key countries like China and India.
Okay.
And EB4 for special immigrants. And the religious workers category still marked U for unavailable. No movement there.
Right. Unavailable means no visas being processed for those categories at all.
Correct. But there were definitely some important shifts elsewhere.
Right. What's the next key difference?
The third one we tracked is a fairly significant retrogression in the EB2 final action date.
EB2. That's the advanced degree professionals or exceptional ability category.
That's the one. And this retrogression affects the all chargeability areas except those listed group. So most of the world, plus Mexico and the Philippines specifically, had this change.
Okay, what did the date do?
In July, the date was October 15th, 2023. For August, it moved back, September 1st, 2023.
Back by about a month and a half. September 1st, 2023.
Wow. Yeah. It's a noticeable pullback. And the reason given is pretty clear. Demand is high, and they're rapidly approaching the annual limit for fiscal year 2025.
So they have to hit the brakes.
Essentially, yes. Slow down the rate of visa issuance to stay within the yearly quota.
This raises an important question, though. What's the broader implication when we see a retrogression like this, especially so late in the fiscal year? Could it just stop?
It's a definite risk. Seeing a retrogression like this now signals intense pressure.
Right.
And the bulletin actually includes a specific warning. It says if the annual limit is reached, the category could immediately become U unavailable.
Just freeze completely.
Exactly. Halt further requests. So it's a strong signal for anyone in EB2, particularly from those affected areas, to watch this very, very closely. It could stop, or it could mean continued slow movement into the next fiscal year starting in October.
Okay, that's a major heads up. What about other employment categories? Any forward movement?
Yes, there was. Our fourth key difference is some positive news for India, specifically in the EB3 skilled workers, professionals, and the other workers categories.
Okay, EB3 and other workers for India.
For them, the final action date advanced by 1 month. In July, it was April 22nd, 2013.
Right.
In August, it moved forward to May 22nd, 2013.
Okay, so a modest but welcome step forward for that group.
Definitely. Every bit helps when you've been waiting that long.
Absolutely. Any other big employment-based changes?
Yes, one more area saw quite dramatic movement. The fifth key difference is in the EB5 unreserved category, the investment visa.
Ah, the investor visas. What happened there?
Significant advancements, particularly for China and India.
How significant?
For China, the final action date leaped from January 22nd, 2014 in July, all the way to December 8th, 2015 in August.
Whoa, wait. January 2014 to December 2015. That's almost 2 years.
It's a huge jump. And for India, it moved from May 1st, 2019 in July to November 15th, 2019 in August.
Also a solid jump of over 6 months. If we connect this to the bigger picture, what's driving these big moves in EB5?
Well, the bulletin gives specific reasons. For China, the big leap is apparently due to lower than expected EB5 number usage recently. Maybe fewer applications, slower processing. We don't know the exact mix.
Interesting. Fewer people using the available visas.
Seems so. And for India, the advancement is attributed to the expectation that unused family-sponsored visa numbers will spill over and become available for employment-based categories, including EB5.
Ah, the spillover effect. We hear about that sometime.
Exactly. It's how the system tries to make sure the overall visa numbers get used up each year, transferring them between categories based on specific rules. It shows how interconnected these things are.
Fascinating. It highlights how dynamic the allocation can be.
It really does. And one last very important note on employment-based. The August Bulletin fires a warning shot for EB3 and other workers again.
Another warning.
Yes. It emphasizes that demand remains very high, and they are getting very close to the annual limits for fiscal year 2025 in these categories.
So, similar to the EB2 warning.
Pretty much. It strongly suggests we'll likely see either more retrogression or these categories becoming unavailable in the September bulletin, possibly even sooner.
Okay, so anyone in EB3 or other workers needs to be on high alert right now.
Definitely. Monitor closely, be prepared for potential halts.
Got it. Critical information.
Yeah.
Now let's shift to the Diversity Visa program, the DV lottery. It runs on a different track.
It does, with its own annual selection and a strict fiscal year deadline.
How does the comparison work here between the July and August bulletins?
It's slightly different. The August bulletin actually tells us the rank cutoffs that will apply for September's processing.
Ah, so it looks ahead to the next month.
Exactly. So we compare the September cutoffs from the August bulletin to the August cutoffs, which were announced back in the July bulletin.
Okay, makes sense. So what's the sixth key difference we found there?
Generally, it's positive news. We saw advancements in the DV regional cutoffs for September across most areas.
Good news for lottery winners, then. Can you give us some examples?
Sure. For Africa, the general cutoff jumped from 50,000 to 58,500. Countries like Algeria and Egypt also advanced, though Morocco stayed put.
Okay.
Asia saw a good jump too, generally from 11,000 to 14,500, with Iran and Nepal also moving forward.
Nice. Europe.
Europe advanced generally from 22,000 to 23,000, and specific countries like Russia and Uzbekistan saw forward movement.
What about the Americas?
North America, which is just the Bahamas for DV, remained current, which is the best status.
Excellent for them.
Oceania ticked up slightly from 1,700 to 1,775, and South America and the Caribbean moved from 2,600 to 2,825.
So quite a bit of positive movement across the board as we head into September, the final month of the fiscal year for DV 2025.
Yes, generally encouraging signs.
So what does this all mean for those DV 2025 hopefuls as we head towards the end of the fiscal year? Does this mean everyone below the new cutoffs is guaranteed a visa now?
That's the crucial point, and it's a hard truth. While the advancements mean more people are eligible to be processed in September,
There's a but.
there's a big but. Entitlement to DV status for the 2025 program ends, period, on September 30th, 2025.
The end of the fiscal year.
Right. No visas can be issued after that date. And critically, just because your number becomes current doesn't guarantee processing before that deadline, or even that visa numbers won't run out completely before September 30th.
So it's still a race against time, even with these advancements.
Absolutely. It's positive that the cutoffs are moving, meaning they intend to process more people, but the clock is ticking very loudly. There's no guarantee until that visa is actually issued.
Okay, a vital reminder for all DV selectees. So wrapping up our deep dive today, we've really seen a mix. Some stability, some tough retrogressions like that EB2 pullback, but also some really significant forward leaps, like an EB5 for China and India.
And the general, though time-crunched, progress for the diversity visa program.
Exactly. It just shows how fluid this whole system is, constantly adjusting to demand, limits, and those complex allocation rules. Staying informed isn't a one-time thing, it's ongoing.
It truly is. And maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on.
Go for it.
Considering these, quite precise last-minute adjustments and these stark warnings we saw in the August bulletin, especially as the fiscal year winds down, what does that tell us about the incredibly delicate balance between the sheer global demand for visas and those rigid annual limits? How might these end-of-year pressures and the ways the system tries to cope, how might that shape what visa availability and backlogs look like, not just next month, but in the years ahead?
That's a really powerful question, something to definitely keep in mind as we watch these bulletins evolve. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today.
My pleasure.
We hope this breakdown has given you the clarity you need to understand these latest shifts. Until next time, stay informed.